Aw, Brandon, thank you so much. So everyone, I was a little bit, we had a big break, and I guess I kind of got a little sleepy. My apologies. Joining me, of course, is Anatoly and Adonis, and Dazer for Paradigm. Welcome, Dazer. I'm sorry for not introducing you.
That's all right. I didn't see him before.
Yeah, no.
Did he just get here?
Yeah, he wasn't even here for the pre-show
I didn't notice him at all. Kind of.
That makes me feel really good, that does. Thank you.
But I am all woken up now, ready to go, and Cloud9, it didn't even seem like there was anything niche or weird. They just seemed strong the entire game.
Yeah, Cog went for this kind of healing comp, but then in the mid game, once the Pestilence come in line, once the Divine Ruin for the Zhong came online, it kind of hindered their strategy.
Yeah, I agree. Adonis, what do you feel that Cloud9 just did right?
They out-farmed Cognitive Gaming. I would say was the best thing that they did, because even when Cog was able to find the single pick and use their healing comp, heal up, and just be far enough ahead that they could get that Gold Fury, there was just so many players that were 5K behind
exactly
overall as a team.
Yeah, that had a huge impact on the game. I feel like the biggest thing, though, is that they built this healing comp, but they just really didn't group up properly, in my opinion. And, yeah, I feel like that's the way they need to improve it if they want to use that strategy again. So
is a healing comp better than a tank comp or a burst damage comp? Why build 4 healers when you can have so much anti-healing on the enemy team to counter that?
I mean, Weaken and Curse is not as effective as it used to be, and when you're forcing the enemy into some anti-healing items, they're not going to have their damage items online necessarily. But like Dacer mentioned, that they didn't group up as a team and siege any towers and take advantage of that healing comp.
So what is COG going to have to do different to take a game off of Cloud9?
I think they are going to have to group more, but it's hard because, Cabom and Meerkat, even after they were fine in their lane, there was no real deaths. Cabom actually got first blood, but he's still 3 levels behind BaRRaCCuDDa, who hadn't had a kill at the time. Yeah. It's just, I don't know, I wasn't really paying attention to the minimap or the side lanes or whatever was happening. Maybe they were playing way too fast, maybe they're playing too scared, but their XP was just so far behind for it really didn't seem a big reason.
Well, what I noticed is that anytime, especially in the early game, there was an engagement going on, JeffHindla was there. The entire team was there. Why is he always in solo lane?
Well, he's clearly just very good at rotating. He just knows when something's going to happen, and he goes there for it. And
I think Cloud9 also call that, and they force it. So, Jeff is coming out of base with a new item or after backing with wards, having the intention to head over to that solo lane.
Yeah, I think a big part of that is the communication of, effectively planning what you want to do as a team and knowing, you need to be there at a certain time.
Yeah.
So BaRRa did great and played Soul. Again, I'm going to ask this, even though BaRRaCCuDDa is a great player. Was it more so Soul that did so well, or was it him and his playstyle?
I think it's a combination of both. We saw, Adonis mentioned, his level advantage was 3 at the 17 minute mark or something like that.
It was 19 to 16, I believe.
19 to 16.
And you guys were saying it wasn't like the Guardians were too off different either. How was he 3 levels ahead?
We're not really sure because they never really showed the 1v1 boxing. We only saw the rotations during team fights, but never the 1v1 laning phase, really.
Dazer, where do you feel like COG fell off?
I mean, I feel like the biggest issue, as Adonis said, was the farming. Even though they had more kills and more assists and all that, they were still behind in gold, and I honestly don't really see where that came from.
Well, we saw in the previous set that emotions can run high and really affect your game. Do you feel like we were listening to COG, and even when they got that first blood or just 1 kill, you could hear djpernicus, I believe it was, or maybe a Roar, getting really hype and excited. Do you feel like that might be to their disadvantage, or is that still beneficial no matter what? I
would say that is beneficial, in my opinion, because I feel like whenever you play the game, the more energy you put into it, the better you're going to do. And that's just something that I really do believe.
What's more important is how you take deficits. It's how you bounce back from losses is more important than how you get high from after a kill. Because they got 1 kill in the mid lane one time, but they didn't really get anything off of that. They tried to go for gold, but then Soul was there. And actually, never mind, I'm sorry. They did get gold Fury after that 1 kill in mid lane. Yeah.
So what are they going to have to do differently?
I actually kind of liked their comp. I really liked the playstyle that COG was going for. It was kind of very similar to their SPL style, where Guan Yu was really just sitting in the mid lane and then rotating to help Meerkat, but the side lanes have to step up. Meerkat was fine in his lane. He even got that kill onto Andinster during the rotation, but he was behind in farm. Same with Cabom. I wasn't paying attention to the minimap. I wasn't really noticing what their thing was with back timings or anything, but you cannot fall that far behind, because when team fights come, you're just not doing as much damage. As well as I think Dazer's big point was, if they run this heal style comp, They need to group up.
Yeah, exactly. I actually feel like in this game, though, Meerkat did play well. It's just I don't know what was up with his farming. I feel like that was it. Because he did have some very good rotations and got a lot of work done.
I mean, the one thing that I noticed just from the start of the game is that Cloud9's comp was so strong. Sol, Khepri, Zhong, Hun, and Bell. Like, you just encompass all, like, the AoE, you have tankiness, you have escape. Are they going to have to ban anyone out in particular in this next game going up?
For COG?
Yes.
No, I think that they're going to keep their strategy very similar, C9 that is, and they're just going to keep rolling.
So they banned out Ares, Hal, and Xingchen, and Cognitive banned out Thor, Serq, and Merc. I'm surprised about the Mercury ban. Why was that? Why do you guys think?
I mean, they may have had bad experiences against Mercury. I'm not really sure exactly what it could have been. Like, whenever they pick these picks, maybe whenever they played other teams, they might have just had a bad experience or something like that.
We are seeing actually, I know it's ranked and it's not always transparent or carries over to competitive, but there's been a lot of Mercury in high-level ranked play. All players are playing it. Duo lane.
Why? Why Merc over
jungle,
other gods?
Because it's kind of one of those gods where you haven't played it in a while.
Exactly.
And it surprises you. That's what happens at LANs. Players will bring out gods that, opponents just haven't dealt with, and they may not be the strongest god in the world, but they do the exact same thing that a similar god does, but it's just the surprise factor, right? When was the last time that BaRRaCCuDDa had a Mercury kind of like go from the back tier 1 tower and gank his lane at like 4 minutes? He probably hasn't experienced that on quite some time.
So do you think that they're not going to ban out Merc this time, probably still ban out Thor and Serqet, and ban out someone different?
I feel like the pick bans are going to be similar, like the
Really?
bans at least. Like maybe Cog will grab Jing instead of the Sylvanus earlier on.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Xing 10 wasn't banned until the 3rd stages, and it was C9 who had that 3rd ban and the next picked after. And what they opted to do was ban Xing Chen and then go for the Bellona. So that's clearly evident that C9 favors the Bellona over the Xing Chen, which gives COG that opportunity to pick the Xing Chen and maybe control the solo lane after that.
Well, where does Xingchen fit into like the meta right now?
He can go into the solo lane or the Guardian. Actually, Aurora loves Xing Chen, so I'm surprised that they didn't pick it for him.
Yeah.
It's like his other Ares. Like,
Yeah.
That's just like something aggressive.
It really seems to fit his playstyle, so I mean, I don't really know why he didn't really pick it this game. I don't think Sylvanus is as much to his playstyle, and
I guess the healing. They wanted the healing.
So, I'm sorry, no.
What do you guys feel like? Because I actually really liked, we saw COG actually pick up 3 Emerald Talismans, which is ranked 2 Stone of Gaia, and not finish either of them. I don't know if this is a math thing that they've worked out, where it's just like the sustain was enough and come out their heal. How do you feel about that?
I mean, I don't really know the maths about behind it, so I can't really comment on it that well.
It's a good mid-game item, but like you mentioned, they didn't exploit the siege that they had.
Exactly.
So it was kind of worthless, I feel like.
Why was Tyr picked? I mentioned earlier that I thought Tyr was going to be better at LAN. You guys said, no, Tyr is actually worse at LAN. You can predict his knock-up even better. But why was he picked?
I think they kind of wanted to get that surprise factor. Maybe they were practicing it and it worked out in scrims, but for whatever reason, this game, he fell behind level-wise, despite doing a good performance. So
very good.
I'm not really sure what he's going to pick after this.
I think another factor in that, though, it could just be a very comfortable pick for Meerkat. It's their first game at LAN. They just want to be comfortable with what they play.
There's something that I believe you mentioned, that Sobek wasn't picked or banned in this game.
Yes, as well as Giannis. And that surprises me too, because Baskin likes Sobek, but instead he opted for that Bellona warrior style, trying to get more damage earlier on in laning phase. Maybe they thought there was going to be some early aggression between the Hunbats and the Bellona, so they wanted to go for that kind of style instead of having the passive Sobek early on. And because of that Bellona, they were able to do that blue buff invade with Jeff rotating earlier on, and that definitely showed.
Well,
I do have to say, though,
yes?
Baskin, you're a scumbag.
Oh, wow.
You stole that Penta. What is wrong with you? You and BaRRaCCuDDa. Terrible. Terrible.
All right, let's go to the casters, everyone.
Thank you very much, Kelly.
He's right.
Yeah?
Yeah, Adonis is right.
You think?
Baskin, you're a horrible person.
Yeah?
Just
Yeah, it wasn't
terrible.
great. It could have been better.
Could have still.
There could have been a penta.
Yeah, no, there could have.
We could have had a proper penta,
Uh,
as Hitty Man would say.
yes.
I'm Bart, this is Brandon.
Hey.
And this is game number 2 of Cloud9 versus Cognitive. Game number 1, it was a Cognitive moment and then a Cloud9 game.
By the way, I am on track for my prediction.
Of?
100-minute total game time.
You are, yeah.
Yeah.
As long as it goes 3-0, you're still on your way.
Right. Well, that and we were what 33 minutes.
33 right on. Yeah.
Yeah. So
You're the
I'm
man
like,
now, dog.
I'm like right on the money there.
Where did you go?
It'll be more of the same if COG doesn't switch it up. I think the number one thing there, and I'm going to agree with Dazer, and that's Sylvanus and Aurora in my head doesn't make sense. Aurora likes to be that dude in the front line going, hey, everyone, do you want to hate Smite? Because I know how you can.
I totally agree. Yeah.
And it's just like, hey, hit my Wrath of Terra, guys. Good luck.
Yeah, they banned Ares.
Again.
They banned, Xing Qian, although that one was banned out by COG, wasn't it?
Well, it was
it was banned by Cloud9.
It was a round 2 ban.
Yeah, it was round 2 ban, right? But like either way, right? Cloud9 respects Aurora's aggressive Guardian play. It seems like maybe more than Cognitive does.
And Soul going to be taken right away. That one's going to Cabom this time.
And again, it's the same story though. Now, like, you got to think BaRRaCCuDDa probably something in the back. Ooh, I heard about this one. Have you heard about this? Picking B into Soul.
That's not real.
Yeah, it's real.
All right, listen. I said it to BaRRaCCuDDa, and he looked at me like I had 10 heads.
Yeah, I think it's ridiculous as well, but if anyone's going to do it, it's going to be him because he's the only one that plays B.
Again, he looked at me like I had there's no
Look at this picks and bans, by the way, flying through it. Soul, Guan Yu, Osiris picked up by COG to get their healer, get the big anti-heal as well. But that being said, it's Zhong Serqet given up for the Guan Yu Soul.
Yeah, wow.
Not worth it on paper, certainly, but it's djpernicus on Guan Yu. That's his
go-to.
It's his main squeeze, as they say.
Bellona going to be taken again. Baskin had a pretty incredible game. Didn't do like amazingly in the laning phase, but his team fight presence.
He got
was
one kill
insane.
that really mattered, though.
It's I'm so sad. Back into the ban phase, we get a James
Hey,
ban.
there he is.
He's like, guys, you remember about this?
I think we're 100% pick ban for Hell still, I believe, in this tournament so far.
Yeah, her
as we would expect.
I want to say Thor has been banned like every game.
A lot of Thor bans, yeah.
Neith's going to be taken away. She
Stupid
seems
Thor.
to be the pick.
She comes and goes on the meta as a whim.
I think
every online game had a Thor in it, and now we get to land as like ban him out always.
Both times that Soul has lost today, I think she lost to Neith.
To Neith? I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, Neith seems like on paper probably the best matchup that you can really run from the Hunter position into a Soul, just because you have that such safe farm. Look, as Cloud9 is holding his pick, dude. This could be B. They're going to last pick their Hunter, dude. It could be B.
No way.
It could be B. Well, who else could it be? I mean, right? Like, you need really good lane clear versus Soul. That's really the main thing. You need safe, ranged clear. So Rom, I think, is okay. Yo. Is this for real?
Is that real? Production? Confirm, deny?
That's for real. Look at Best having a giggle.
Oh, man. I just stopped myself because I started with F. And there are more letters to the word. Trust me.
What, the F?
Yeah.
Okay, but no, look at this. Look at this lineup, though. It's beefy. It really, this all comes down to Nemesis.
Go ahead, homeboy. Pick AMC into Anubis. Do it.
Yeah, it'll be Xbalanque.
Okay.
Well, I mean, that makes a lot of sense, right? Like, it could have very well been B at a lot of stages in this game. Yeah, that's what I'm getting at here. Brandon's pointing at Nemesis Anubis, and that's what I really want to talk about, is that you have this big, beefy front line from Cognitive, Guan Yu, Osiris, Nemesis played as a Guardian Warrior type.
Look at him giggling.
And then you have an Anubis, right? And their ability to maintain a front line and Anubis' ability to kill everything on the map is really high. And not to mention Nemesis stripping away protections. It means Anubis is going to kill things in a quarter second.
You know, and I want to point out, you know, I think this character is what I call a B tier character.
Sure.
He's good on certain comps. He's good in certain matchups. That's how I see him. And while he doesn't fit onto every comp and to every matchup, this seems like something he can do. Nemesis takes the protections away and goes, Zhong, you're dead.
Yeah, that's right.
And then if he dies, like, whatever, Zhong's dead.
Well, Nemesis is the long-time, like, guaranteed counter to Zhong. Last split, when we saw lots of Zhong and Nemesis being picked, always you would see Zhong and Nemesis picked in tandem if possible, or ban one, take the other. Because Zhong, when you open up your Demon Bag for your ultimate, you double your protections that it's granted by absorbing ghosts, right? So what I mean by that is you have 30 stacks, now all of a sudden you have 60 protections when you ult.
Look at Best right now with that
Nemesis
little grin.
Steals away that protection, making her unkillable and you very, very paper thin.
Plus, remember, when Zhong goes into a fight, your goal really isn't to kill Zhong, it's to get the hell out of there because you can't kill him fast enough to where he's not going to do 50% of the health to your team. By getting an Anubis here after the Nemesis, you can kill him before he makes a true effort.
We didn't really talk about this, but it is Nemesis support, right?
Wait, what?
Well, what Guardian are they going to put there, buddy?
I thought it was going to be Guan.
You and me both.
Why is it Nemesis support?
Hey, Aurora says, you want to ban out my Ares? I'm going to take Nemesis support.
Is that a sentry ward?
Yeah, that's...
That's some cheeky nonsense.
Guess who doesn't want to get ganked again at mid lane?
Cognitive... No, that's Cog.
No, I know, because Cloud9 put the ward down. It's mind games. They're like, Cloud9's going to put a ward here? Guess what?
Dude, they are the cheek masters today. It's funny because Destiny, who is BaRRaCCuDDa's girlfriend, said, I'm so nervous. They're going to get cheesed. Right? And like...
and you got cheesed
this
so
is
far.
Kind of cheesy.
I mean, okay, so here's another thing about this Cognitive roster, right? The difference between Anubis and Zeus is... like so minimal, right? It's so limited. I mean, it's the big AoE ultimate is really the big difference, but like in terms of like Anubis is exceptionally good at mid lane clear. Anubis has no escape. Anubis is very good at mid camps. Anubis can kill people really quickly.
But Zeus can do that thing repeatedly.
And from really far away. But that's not the point. The point is that they do a lot of the same things, not everything the same.
But, I mean, nobody kills as fast.
Oh, and look at it.
What?
Aurora's been hanging out with ShadowQ.
Stop it!
Not only is it Nemesis, it's Hog Nemesis. And that's going to work.
They got... Wait, why is he on that side of the map? Wait, did Andy get that? Can we check the graphs real quick? I think Andy stole that with an auto attack. Actually, Aurora, no, Aurora has it. No, never mind. Look at experience.
Yeah. No, and they're going to take orange here as well with Hog. No, they're not. What are they
Call
doing?
it orange buff? What? Who are you?
What? It's orange buff.
Speed buff.
Orange. It's less syllables.
What? Hello?
That's what someone said to me one time when I was streaming. They're like, you know that speed is way less syllables, right? And I was like, yeah.
And he hasn't used the hog yet, which means he could go.
They're going to take the up.
I can't get used to saying he has hog. Like,
This
how
is
many
like,
runs?
well, you know, and you're seeing what is effectively the denial strategy. Not
Yeah,
only
pick Anubis and
apropos
Hog.
because you're denying a lot of experience and gold, but also because it's run by ShadowQ.
And Mace plays Anubis.
And Mace plays Anubis. This is the denial. Shoutouts to the best, just like harkening back to his days.
Right? I think like ShadowQ didn't make it. He goes, guys,
you
have
listen
to
to
do
this
for
strat.
me.
Maybe he broke it down for them like in such a convincing way. They were like, you're right. We better pick Anubis.
And of all
Hog."
people, djpernicus is like, I see the math behind this.
Yeah, in the meantime, Pern's making stick figure drawings in the background. Sup, ladies.
Guys, we have to do it.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
Okay, hey, the start has worked so far. Cloud9 seems very out of sorts.
I mean, hell yeah. How do you... I mean, there's like breaking the... Wait. No. Wait. Pernicus is just playing support. It's not Aurora knows how to
Aurora's
battle.
jungling.
Aurora's just playing jungle. Wait, he just gave speed buff. That's not a true jungler right there. You never give away your speed buff, even if you have it. This is the craziest shit
Man,
part
can we take a
I've
look at the
ever
graphs?
seen.
Like, how is this working? Are they actually coming out ahead? Is the real question.
I mean,
here.
hell, like, Cognitive's up like 500 gold right now.
Yeah, can we take a look at the graphs, please?
Experience 1700.
Okay,
Mark.
yeah. I mean, well, you got to think. I mean, they have to be ahead taking all those camps, but like, you could very easily see that
How
be,
much
you know,
of the
closer to
jungle
800.
have they stolen?
I think they've taken. This will be their
Most.
what 5th or 6th camp now. That purple on the right
See,
side.
look, production actually switched Aurora and Pernicus on the thing to
Look at him
represent
go.
that he's in the jungle now. Wow.
Yeah, it seems like Pern is perfectly happy to sit here with his red buff Guan Yu. I mean, I guess they're just thinking, look, like Soul doesn't really need any help, quote unquote. So
really.
I'll just be here until level 5 and then go get on my horse and try to kill MLC.
I think like Cog got beat so bad game 1, they're like, all right, guys, it's time.
It's time. It's time for the pocket.
It's time.
All of it checks out for me, except for Anubis.
No, see, I'm way more on board with the Anubis than I am. Oh, although you were talking about Nemesis Fist. This could be the Nemesis Fist.
No, dude, he's Hog 3.
Oh, yeah, already?
They're going to take, look at it, that's why the Anubis cheese.
And
It's
he
to
got
take
it.
super early gold Fury, and that's uncontestable from Cloud9. Cognitive going to pull ahead even more now. Cloud9, completely unprepared for this.
Is going on?
The problem with running this kind of strategy, though, is if Cognitive goes on to lose, like, you're really, really hating yourself.
Right, I mean, like, I think they're going all in here.
Oh, this is
The chips are on the
very
table.
much an all-in.
They're flipping their cards over like, yo, man, we got jacks.
But now the question is really like, do they have another set of tricks, right? Because it's going to take a lot for them to beat Cloud9. When we talked about a lot, what the analysts were saying was that it's going to take like kind of an act of God in picks and bans for Cognitive to beat Cloud9. You're going to get way ahead on paper. Now, they haven't necessarily done that. I don't think anyone's looking at this draft and going like, oh, Cog just stomped them in the draft. But the way they've played, it's been very, very effective. I haven't even seen MLC in mid lane yet, I feel like.
Yeah, that's true.
He's been running around trying to take buffs. He's 2 levels behind Best.
And that's Anubis, man.
Yeah,
Like, you
and
can't be behind Anubis.
There's like this. The common wisdom with Anubis is that if one team is better than the other team, in ranked in casual games in this, Anubis is the best god to have in the game. Because if you're just better than they are, Anubis is going to go completely just nuts and just kill everything.
I win all team fights, I control all objectives, and if you fight me at any point, I will kill you.
Yeah, Plague of Locust is going to kill 3 people anytime you cast it, right? And although it's probably it's not the easiest thing in the world to necessarily say.
Now Pernicus is in the jungle,
yeah.
and Nemesis is over there playing support, so we moved him again.
You wouldn't say the Cognitive is a better team than Cloud9, and that's why they picked the Anubis, but what difference is it if you're better than them or if you're just ahead 2,000 gold, right? It's like it's the same difference, right? And so Best, Well, he's going to have a first test here, it looks like. No, he's not even in the lane. Okay, great. Best is just going to run away.
Two
Couple
supports
come
and
out.
the two junglers.
Cloud9 a little
get out of
tilted there. I mean, that's a Zhong ultimate used without any real follow-up. Khepri, Serqet, not effective at taking down a single kill. And now Jeff, he's going to get
you know, we barely even talked about the fact that Andy got Serqet.
Oh, yeah. And
He's
I
been
mean,
so enamored with all the other nonsense going on that Andy got, like, a top 5 god.
and he has been forced to run around and attempt to catch up.
And
everybody
so
is losing
far
their
has
lane
been
right
unsuccessful.
now. I mean, everyone is losing their lane on the side of Cloud9.
Yeah, Baskin's behind by 2 levels because he lost his entire jungle. And I think that's where most of the experience difference is. I think everyone else is on the border.
But this kind of like inventiveness is a big reason why a lot of people were calling this a definite one game for Cognitive, right? There's no way that Cognitive is going to go down 3 games straight to Cloud9, just because they've shown a proclivity to be able to pull out these strats time and time again, right? I mean, multiple times you've seen them run, and even in game 1 you saw a similar thing, right? Like this like massive healer composition. They should have been able to siege, and I think that's probably, as you heard the analysts say as well, that Cognitive's like inability to siege effectively in that last game was really what lost it for them. They had all these healers but couldn't like put on effective pushes. Here again, I mean, they've gone for this kind of like right out of the gate super fast start, and it's working. I mean, it's really paying dividends.
Do you see the Bumba's mask, by the way?
Yeah.
He just picked it up now.
That's classic Pern.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy.
BaRRaCCuDDa, Rising Jaguar.
Oh, he avoided the soul too.
I think that was the first time I've seen someone miss Rising Jaguar.
No, he avoided the soul too.
Oh, is that what he did?
Yeah,
oh, okay.
he dodged it.
Okay, I thought it was going. I was like kind of tunnel
Falling
visioned
up
on
the
the
darts.
entry into the lane from the Nem.
Well, 3 members of Cloud9 now knocking on the door. They still probably feel okay. I mean, they're probably a little bit tilted from that start. Just like, how did we like not see that coming? Why are we losing to this?
Andy right there was outside the range of Cobra's Kiss.
Serqet, Khepri, like it's definitely got
Zhong,
very high.
Xbalanque, Bellona.
Yeah, they have tons of late.
Dude, that's a comp.
All the late game.
Like, that's the dream.
But like, what good is your late game if you're dying in one spell to Anubis over and over and over again?
Yeah, while Soul throws 2s in the background.
Yeah, or are you going to lose a second Gold Fury here to this comp?
See, yeah, Gold Fury's up in a minute. I mean, I assume they're just going to rush it down. Why wouldn't they?
Yeah, I mean, they got to force him to fight. You can see him setting up for a best, dumping 2 spells to clear the wave there. That's
Does
unnecessary.
Cloud9 have the Gold Fury timer, though? Did they get there fast enough? Like, within range to actually see it?
I don't know. We'll see. Khepri in some trouble here. Definitely getting shredded by that Guan Yu Talu assault.
Yeah, that was a lot of damage, I think, that Jeff was unexpected.
Cloud9 is like desperately trying to have some normalcy in this game. Like everything they're doing is like trying to slow down the pace of the game. They're trying to get their lanes, like get the laning phase started again, and kind of find a way to recover mentally from this start from Cognitive.
And what's crazy is like late game potential there. You know, if it winds up going deep, you know, I think the normalcy will wind up being that Xbalanque can just like, you know, do his normal gas pedal, or maybe not gas pedal stuff, but just try to rush down the team, whereas Soul's doing the opposite.
Here comes the Gold Fury again. Cognitive's going to start it up. Let's listen to Cloud9 and see how they're going to try to deal with this composition from Cognitive at the Gold Fury.
We can like go on Anubis. I got a good spot to go on.
Osiris might be coming.
Carol stealth.
Osiris might be coming.
Carol stealth, okay. Can we go on Anubis? They're going on Anubis. I'm here. Yeah, going on Anubis, I guess. Hold stealth.
Osiris is coming. Osiris is coming.
What's that?
What's that? I'm on Guan. I'm on Guan. Guan horse.
Damage reduction.
He's dead. Get fucking shit on.
Great job. First blood, baby! I need to midwave.
Poison spread.
I need midwave.
Okay. Osiris. We go mid. Go mid. Go mid.
Coming.
Look at Anubis.
Damage reduction. Life. Burn. Osiris in the back. Anubis, one shot. Good job. Osiris.
Look at Osiris.
Go outside.
Look at Osiris.
I'm coming.
Oh, he does?
I'm pretty far away,
Nice.
He's straight tanky. Okay, whatever. That's it.
Throw mid.
Nice job.
My blue's up. Can you help me with blue?
Yeah.
I'll come over in a second.
I'm going to
I
try.
do help kill Anubis.
Well, that's how Cloud9 is going to deal with it. They're just going to kill everybody. I mean, you can see that's starting to fall apart there. Zhong, they just couldn't burst him down quite fast enough. You could see Best a little bit timid, a little bit hesitant to use that Anubis ultimate to burn through one. Wanted to set up for a better situation, and instead they got collapsed on by Cloud9.
He was waiting for the Gold Fury.
He
wanted to save it for the Gold
Well, yeah, he wanted to save it for a bigger play than just killing a Zhong, and ultimately it just took him too long to kill the Zhong. Cloud9 able to collapse nicely.
And, you know, that's one of the things we talked about in the beginning is like, wow, yeah, Nemesis plus Anubis kills Zhong before he can do his damage, which makes the team fight a lot easier considering how much physical they have on the board. I want to see physical defense being built almost across the board on Cog, and then just kill Zhong. Just kill him. And
Yeah, but
fight.
now I imagine they've given that lead back. Let's take a look at the graphs here, and you should see that it's starting to fall back in favor of Cloud9 here a little bit. Yeah, I mean, it's basically completely erased that early game advantage. Cabom in a lot of trouble. This is going to be an easy kill here for Serqet. Nemesis ultimately going to be used, trying to kite best he can. Andinster, he may pay with his life here. Going to try to take out Cabom. I'm sorry, a Roar, and yes, that will be a Roar going down. It's Pern now. He's in between a rock and a hard place. Zhong going to be a little bit late probably with that ultimate. Could have gotten quite a bit more damage out onto Guan Yu, but really unlikely they kill that Guan Yu in any situation.
Even so, Cloud9 picks up another 2 kills. Gold Fury stays stagnant. And Cloud9's lead has, I think, blossomed here. They're up 200 gold.
Yeah, there goes that early game start from Cognitive, and now they have a mid-game Anubis that isn't ahead.
Which is going to hurt.
Yeah, that's going to be a big problem. As you saw in that last fight, Baskin's ability to close the distance onto that Anubis with Eagle's rally it was very, very troublesome.
I think we were at a point where Zhong was going to be in too much trouble because he couldn't build Warlock Sash. It was going to take him too long to get these items online. He was going to have to look towards an E-Staff or maybe even another tree. Uh-oh, bye,
That's a
Pernicus.
dead turn.
I'll miss you.
Yeah, Cabom and Aurora, they can't follow that one up. In fact, they're going to have to back off. Serqet starting to rear her serpentine head here.
And of all people, right? Like, adapting. But otherwise, Andy.
yeah, right.
I was going to say, I'm like, well.
Of all people, yeah.
Yeah, Andy was actually saying, he's like, wow, adapting scares me.
Yeah, Kenneth out there.
The King Kenneth.
King Kenneth. Shout out to adapting. Also, this is his second game that he's competing in professionally and as a high-res title.
Oh, yeah?
He was a professional Tribes player.
Never heard of it.
He is.
Is it new?
Yeah, that's right.
So that came out today, right?
It's like Team Fortress 2.
No, I don't know.
It's like
that one.
hats.
Oh, hats. Yeah. I know hats.
Hats Inc. It's like Monsters Inc., but it's about hats.
And less monsters.
Yeah, way less.
Some monsters.
There's some.
Just not as many. Not enough to be incorporated by it.
That's right, yeah. It's still Hats Inc., let's be real here. I mean, they have monsters, but it's Hats Inc.
1 to 5. Cognitive.
Oh, okay.
Having some trouble.
Yeah, that Aurora play was like, slice it, nice, leave!
He looks maybe a little bit unfamiliar.
I mean, all the lanes are now being pushed by Cloud9. You can just see, like, the total equilibrium of the map is way in favor of Cloud9 now.
There's no tankiness on this team at all. They have
on Cog.
Yeah, djpernicus for whatever reason has a silver breastplate on Guan Yu, and then there's
a
Smithy's hammer, right? Like that's. Oh wait,
no,
they're going for it. They're going for it.
And
yeah, they got it.
They'll get it. Yeah.
They can't lose it. Not with.
But now,
they lost him.
You see Andinster riding on the horse.
Best is dead.
Out of frame there. Yeah, Best should die. Maybe he'll outrun a couple of those soul hits.
Oh, Best not dead.
Best. Oh, don't think the ticks are going to be enough. It's going to be close. Yeah, not enough. Best's going to be able to recall here happily.
Jeez.
No, BaRRaCCuDDa's going to try to backdoor it. Oh, BaRRaCCuDDa.
Jaguar.
Oh, BaRRaCCuDDa. Ooh, that burst, though. Baskin able to pick up Best there, going super deep. He's behind the tier 2, in fact.
That's 3 down, by the way, if you're not keeping track. That's 4 down if you're not keeping track. Just Meerkat by himself. Not getting any farm at this point either. That level 14, that big lead that he had, is turned into pretty much a stalemate with Baskin-Robbins.
But they got the Gold Fury.
That's true. But, I mean, they lost the gold from the Gold Fury as you see that quick spike back down. Except the big difference here is that the little spike they got from the Gold Fury in experience winds up being a big trade as Cloud9 takes, I think, the first real lead of the game.
Yeah, 3K now up against Cognitive. And, well, at least we got to see some nice, spicy Cognitive opening there. I mean, that was ridiculous.
It was cute.
Yeah.
But now they're down 1-9.
Right, yeah.
Now I feel like the comms are like, all right, boys, didn't work. Pack it up. Let's go into game 3. Back to the textbooks.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, like, we'll see at the next engagement. Let's take a listen to Cognitive's comms, and we'll kind of get an idea of maybe where they sit based on how that next fight goes.
Yeah, I wonder what it sounds like. All right, don't use your Anubis ult for whatever reason.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, maybe it's kind of like, you said it before, he was looking for a bigger play. I mean, that's how we saw them beat the Fat Chunks, right? Like, that's how they did it, is they saved the Scylla ult for so long.
Scylla ultimate, a little bit better at Anubis ultimate and kind of firing off the fight. Looks like there's going to be a fight breaking out here any moment. No. Just a little bit of warding coming out from Cognitive. A nice counter ward there to the left side of mid. Meantime, BaRRaCCuDDa. So I guess there's 2 major ways to think about dealing with Sol. One is superior lane clear. 2 is just hit her so hard that she can't fight you. And BaRRaCCuDDa has taken approach 2.
Yeah, I mean, he went right into the Soul Eater to try to give himself some sustain in lane.
Well, it's not the Iqbal build-up either, right? That's what we've seen be fairly popular against Sol, right? We saw it in the last game. Cabom ran Iqbal. Oh, Shell.
Some damage. Also, I love that
Look
from
at Jeff. Shell plus Rising Sun, Rising Dawn.
Aurora, though, didn't quite have that same level of defense.
No. Nemesis, not known for her resiliency without items. Well, let's take a listen to Cog's comms here. It looks like Cloud9 is swarming in their jungle. Let's see what the attitude of the team is now, 14.5 minutes in.
That's Khepri 2. I'm gonna ult Zhong here. I'm gonna ult Zhong.
Okay.
Going. Khepri ult.
I'm helping in the back. I'm doing what I can.
Okay. Khepri ult's gonna be off soon. Khepri ult's gonna be off soon.
Okay, can you back up?
Yeah, back.
That sounds pretty low.
Okay. I got a 2 soon.
I'm on Serqet. I'm on Serqet. Serqet in the back.
I'm gonna go help.
I'm on her.
I slow
Nice.
Khepri. I slow Khepri.
Nice. Got healing.
Going
Khepri. Can you go Khepri?
Khepri.
Let's keep going.
Could you
Keep
fire?
going.
Could you fire? Could you
No,
fire?
I don't have all. I don't have all. I don't have all.
Towers.
Yeah.
Okay. Good job.
Yeah, that was really good. Don't be afraid.
Okay.
Fuck. That's stuck.
I slowed him.
Do you have anything
I
to
can
get
shield.
down?
I can shield
No,
him
no,
if he
you can't
autos
get
me.
down.
Okay.
I got a big heal.
Okay.
I'm literally.
I don't know, Bart.
Yeah, what do you think about that call to not do fire?
I think they could have did fire, Bart.
Yeah?
I think they had it. I mean, yeah, Anubis' ult's down, but I mean, he still has Plague of Locusts. Actually, can we see TheBest real quick? I wonder if he's leveling Mummify. Usually we see a level 2. He's going right into Plague of Locusts.
314, yeah.
I usually like 314, but I want to get level 2 Mummify.
Yeah, it's a huge. Can you mouse over Mummify real quick?
I mean, it's very similar to Tectonic Rift. I mean, the stun duration for 0.2 seconds doesn't seem like a lot, but it's what allows you to get the combo.
It's an extra tick on your grasping hands, right? Which just really makes all the difference there.
And it's 2 extra ticks
Yeah,
of your ultimate.
but like with this all in composition, I honestly would have rather seen Plague of Locust maxed over grasping hands, because like you're all in already. Like you might as well take the spell that's like super all in.
Dude, and people, I don't think
Plague of Locust is like one of the hardest hitting abilities, if not the hardest hitting ability that's a normal.
I don't think people understand how hard that move hits.
I mean, it's one of 2 abilities in the game that can clear the way fully level 1.
Can it really?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
The character's OP.
All you got to do is just stand out to the side and channel Plague of Locust.
Please pick him in my rank games because he is good.
Yeah, he's so good.
Against me though, not on my team.
I mean when I play in my casual queue games Anubis, yeah, I mean if you're against a player that just like doesn't really get it,
I'll miss you
can see Best is very dead here. You can just stand out to the side, just play Locust all day, and like it clears away so fast. Yeah, it's that, and you know the other one. What's the second ability? One other ability in the game you can clear at level 1 with no magical power.
So it's magic, I guess.
Yes, it is magic.
Wow.
It's another mid lane mage.
Another mid lane mage. I guess Rahil?
Nope. Agni, Path of Flame.
Path of Flames. Does it still clear the melees?
If you have your passive, I think.
No, it doesn't use the passive.
If you hit the melee guy 3 times, I think he dies. It's the same thing for Plague of Locust, right? I mean, it's like the melee, the big boss minion is like has like 1 or 2 health left usually, or in hands of health left, about 70 HP.
I miss. Where's Agni? Actually,
yeah,
Chaos
that's a good question.
I think Chaos used them once today.
Yeah, we saw the Agni try to chase down backliners a little bit there.
Yeah, Chaos made the play.
Really, it's like Serqet, Hunbots, like being so popular in the jungle makes it pretty hard. Like they're like some of the natural predators to Agni, right? Because like if you can chase down that dash, or you can get to the backline and fight the Agni while he's rooted, setting off bombs, you can really do a lot of damage.
If that dash is caught down, it's like goodbye.
Yeah, it's bye-bye Agni.
5 to 10 though. Cognitive showing some signs of life here. Fights back, finds a 200 gold lead as well. They're not out of this, and you know what's crazy is I really thought that fight was going to go to Cloud9. The Khepri ult was on Zhong. It seemed like they had control, but that was the target switching I was looking for. It seems like what they were lacking in Game 1, they're doing much better with in Game 2.
Well, Gold's still in the advantage of Cognitive with those Gold Furies. Spear of the Magus coming out for Soul on Cabom. How do you feel about that build-up?
Oh, no, I love it.
You like Magus?
I love it. I actually don't like the poly.
In this build?
It just at all.
Okay.
I just feel like the place where you build poly, you should just build Chronos Pendant for more 2s. And
Instead of harder hitting 2s?
Because, I mean, the amount of damage you need to make Polynomicon relevant is, like, insanely
BaRRaCCuDDa's going for the Xbox build.
The Xbox build.
Xbox Live Arcade.
He's been watching them Juice Boys play.
Yeah, there it is.
Been watching Transonics.
What I mean is that it's a Fatalis there.
I'll miss you, Best.
Yep, rip. But yeah, that's it's gonna be a Fatalis, and it's gonna be Soul. Gonna get walked down now. And I mean, here's the thing. I've said it a few times now. A lot of these games are gonna come down to whether or not Cabom can like stymie the push of BaRRaCCuDDa and prevent him from getting too far ahead. Yeah. And now this is the second game where he's got like a level and 3/4 advantage. He's 2-0-4, and it's the opposite matchup, right? It's Soul versus the basic Hunter. And it's still going to the side of BaRRaCCuDDa. It just kind of shows you that maybe the gap between these 2 players. BaRRaCCuDDa is such a good player.
I mean, it really seems like he's on another tier than most other ADCs. Maybe not even how much damage he can do, but again, it's just consistency. I think is probably the most important stat for a Hunter is how consistent are you? How well can you do even when you're behind?
Well, he's got a really good decision-making process as well. He's got a really good feel for you know, kind of like when he can get an extra in-hand in as you run away without overextending too much here, right? Like you'll see it there, right? Like you kind of just like, okay, time to leave and not get hit by that Soul 2. You know, most players are like, oh man, I'm chunking her. I'm going to move forward, try to get a few more in-hands and really like start to win this lane.
Best though,
Not Johnny Selter.
Level 14, I think, is the first dip we've seen. You'll also note that he got level 2 Spear and has now gone into Tiny Trinket.
I guess because Magic was already completed and he doesn't want an Obsidian Shard this early into the game here. And, well, he can't build into that anyway. Aurora's going to go down trying to reflect some damage.
Hey,
Zhong Ultimate was fired off there as well as a shell. Pern finds himself in a bit of trouble. He's just going to get smacked around by Baskin. Over the top comes that Roman Victim. Is going to force out the red hair ultimate. That's the name of the horse, by the way.
Oh, yeah?
Red hair.
That's fantastic.
Thanks.
Is Gold Fury available? Yeah, wow, they're going right for it. Aurora's still alive, though. Did he back? No,
they have no, Aurora's dead.
Oh, Aurora's dead?
Yeah, they have no Hog.
Oh, so,
hey, it's like Season 2 or Split 2.
Hey, yeah, Hog's dead. Let's go.
Hog's down, let's go.
Except they don't have their own Hog. This could be stolen if someone were to make the
No,
attempt.
there's no high damage ultimate really on the side of Cognitive that can burst like that. Maybe Best ultimate, but the range, it's not a 55-foot, like, you can't really fire it safely. It's not a knocking bomb.
And it's also not static damage.
Right, yeah, it's that overtime. Even
it whittles them down.
Absurd amount of overtime, it's just overtime.
And all you have to do is just wait until it's really low and then exercise, right?
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Although, to be fair, an exercise is probably doing the same as an ultimate tick from Anubis. Although he doesn't have his breastplate, he doesn't have his spear, so probably not actually.
Yeah, that's strange. I'm still confused about why he didn't finish the spear.
I think he started building it, and then he looked at Cabom's items and was like, oh, we already have one.
Yeah.
Or it's math, you know? You never know.
Right now, it's 30 damage, 10 pen.
Yeah.
So it's decent. Now, going into Tiny Trinket, this puts him probably on Python. He wants more lifesteal. Also, Baskin's committing super hard to this.
I think he's just trying to get closer
nice
to
dodge.
Andy.
Nice dodge again.
Grasping hand's not going to be enough. Still dodging is Baskin. There's the disarm. He's going to try to run into tower. Doesn't matter. There's enough abilities available there.
Speaking of caught, though.
Yeah, very, very caught, however, on the backside here. It's going to be Aurora. He's going to pop. He's going to isolate himself from his team so as not to spread. There's a nice stun coming out from Best, and that's going to stop any further engagement opportunities from Cloud9 for now. But it is still Serqet, and she is still highly mobile. Still just a Blink 1, though, for Andy.
You know, it was funny because I was sitting next to Andy during the previous set, and there was one point where a Just had blinked in for a fight that he shouldn't have, and he died. And Andy said, the death doesn't matter, right?
The blink cooldown.
It's like the blink cooldown is like a second hurt. Because, I mean, it's super long. Yeah, it's over 2 minutes.
Yeah, it's like 160 seconds or something.
It's like wasting an ultimate, but you're right? It's like 2 times in a row.
Yeah.
It hurts.
Oh. No, Pern didn't get it.
Not going to work out.
And now to the horse.
All right,
they want to fight.
Back him up. Oh, they're going in.
Aegis pop by, and we'll see Stealth. Ghost coming out as well.
Nice.
And he's trying to pull someone back in. Card does miss Guan Yu there. Pernicus, though. It's going to be interesting to see how he makes it out of this one, and it's just going to be, he's going to walk out. That's how he's going to do it.
Well, Cabom was there, like, chucking shots down.
The backup showed up.
Make sure that burst covers the area. By the way, Grasping Hands looks cool.
Well, no, that was actually just Soul 1 inside of the Grasping Hands.
Oh,
they made it look all like gold and sparkly.
Why was that awesome?
Aurora's going to take some punishment here. He's going to take way too much damage, maybe, before the ultimate. Where's that Anubis ultimate? There it is. They're in the choke. He actually reprioritizes his target, and it's just not enough anymore. That Anubis ultimate not too effective in that fight. It did do plenty of damage, but just very tanky frontline targets here.
Got that split push
on
cam,
the side of Cloud9. Oh yeah, look at that split push cam. Look at BaRRaCCuDDa going ham. He's found a tier 2, and he's continuing on. In the bottom left corner of your screen there, you can see BaRRaCCuDDa's progress into that Phoenix, and indeed it's going to be the recall. Shout out to the split push cam, though. Love it. Loving it.
Also, that was a pretty big win there. You'll notice that Cloud9 is suddenly 5,000 gold, their senior. How did that happen?
7,500 experience as well.
And no 20s.
Well, you know, probably 1,000 gold going to BaRRaCCuDDa there on that long, extended push with 2 towers.
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't even notice that. There was so much action. It was a 9-player fight over in the top right side of the map.
Executioner coming up next. Massive attack speed right now. Afterwards, I'm assuming it's going to be a Rage.
Yeah, Rage Blade, you know, you could see something a little spicy. You could see some like oboe shenanigans or something spicy like that, but he starts getting close to capping his attack speed at that point.
Speaking of crit, by the way, Meerkat just felt the pain. Not sure why they're chasing Andy so hard.
He's mad. Mad at Andy.
Andy just doesn't care. Pernicus has used
that was
everything.
like beads just used by Pern cuz there. I mean, like he had to know that he was going to be forced to beads as damage going to come out. He's going to pop as well. Poison luckily does not spread to Aurora. I mean, like moments from spreading.
Remember, too, he couldn't heal during that. That's healing reduction. Aurora's stuck in place as well. BaRRaCCuDDa credited with the kill. That's going to be another 5 damage.
Tilt throw? I mean, that was like there was really no play that was going to work out there. He was going to go so deep because he'd be forced to beats either way, right?
Yeah, Pernicus was out of position. I mean, that's the only analysis there was. He went too far against a tenured team, and they rotated properly. Cabom forced deep away, and this is looking like FG for free.
Yeah, just happily taking out the Fire Giant here is BaRRaCCuDDa, tanking it up with all of his moderate actually amount of lifesteal, but it's enough.
I mean, Cloud9 are just looking like connoisseurs.
Meerkat top
of
side.
things
He's
like.
the one that's gonna have the opportunity to contest. He got it! He got it with the Spirit Flail! Oh my God, Meerkat just going in. The God, let's take a listen actually to Cognitive's comms now, as they've stolen the Gold Fury and they're gonna get more.
Oh, you're fine, you're fine, you're fine. Nah.
Who you on, Meerkat? Who you on?
Baskin. Kill
I'm running
Baskin, kill
towards
Baskin.
mid. I'm towards mid with heals.
Yeah,
I'm
we're
towards
coming.
mid with
Zhong,
heals.
Guan Zhang, Guan Zhang, Guan Zhang, Guan Zhang.
I'm running the whole way.
He's slowed, he's slowed, he's slowed.
Nice shot.
Get it,
Okay, I'm just
Get
gonna
it.
Push mid.
Mid.
Nice job.
Xbalanque's over here. Can we get him? Just push middle, just push middle.
Push middle.
Coming. Let's go.
Yeah.
I need a heal, DJ, when you have one.
Sorry, I'll use it again.
Let's fucking go.
I think someone should have gone left here. Oh well. Is gold up? Do we know?
I don't know.
You want to just go to gold, or do you
Yeah,
want
I
to?
do.
You want to push Phoenix here?
No, we can't.
Yeah,
Okay.
we need best, kind of.
Only 4 of us.
Serqet's
We need best, kind of. Shout out to the comms there. Cognitive Gaming wins a big fight on the back of a Miracle Spirit Flail.
A Meerkat Spirit Flail?
Yeah, Meerkat Spirit Flail. I'll say that 10 times fast, but that's just that's Cloud9. Just
Wow, they don't go for gold though. Wow, they're gonna go for a tier 1 here. They're still behind in both regards, but it's shrinking.
Well, I mean, this team is good at taking gold furies, right? They're less good at sieging towers.
Agreed.
So I think the towers are a little bit more important.
Wait.
It is Soul.
That's Soul, bro.
But we haven't seen that Soul come out yet so
That's
far.
because he's been getting bullied all game.
Well, I mean, like, but even in set 1, we didn't see that Soul.
I like that Best didn't ult this time. I like that they changed the game plan up. Obviously, this is the correct call. You know, it's pretty basic, but I was a little worried they were going to panic and try to, like, all in. But
well,
let's check Gold in hand.
Gold's back to Cognitive Gaming here. Yeah, taking a look at the Gold in hand, you can see.
Whoa!
3K on the Soul. That's a BaRRaCCuDDa incoming shortly.
Yeah, he's about 500 gold away. Maybe a little bit less, 300.
No, he's going to go Kronos.
I'm down. The more 2s you could throw out, the better.
What's the name of that ability?
What?
Souls 2.
Oh, look at the graphs.
Hey, they did it for you. Why didn't you even ask?
Gold Fury is even. Experience difference very close. At this stage of the game, that is basically irrelevant.
Oh my God.
Let's see. In fact, the only
Spirit
real
Flail.
difference, actually no, it's actually a lot more relevant than that, because I think Meerkat, where Cabom has a lot of that experience, you'll notice that djpernicus still 2 levels behind. Aurora's even, but Best is also 2 levels behind. So there's a 4-level difference right now between the two.
Still a big Zhong you have to deal with. 6-3 and 3 for MLC Stealth there, but Cloud9 can't be feeling too happy after that last engagement.
He's got that golden sash online as well. Things are going to get easier.
Yeah,
considering
Tahuti's coming out shortly, at least.
What?
Tahuti's coming out shortly. I only think that's an E-Staff. I think it's an E-Staff? Or Tahuti. Gem of Isolation, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Gem. It's going to be
Is it Gem, not E-Staff?
It's possible. I think it's going to be Gem, though. I mean, it's not like he built into Salvation or Mail of Renewal, which are the items that require you to have absurd amounts of health.
Yeah.
Right? He's looking for some level of utility, and getting them to pop Heavenly Agility in response to his slows will allow Baskin Robbins to be more effective in team fights. They're backing off.
Serqet, yeah, well, Serqet's nipping at their heels here. I think they're a little worried about that. Guan, you going to try to isolate her.
They only have 40 seconds left with this Fire Giant buff, and it's on the 2 people who are going to do the most damage to this tower, because you can see Cog wants to get in there and get Cabom to start swinging.
Well, they got to get that the classic stuff after
Here we go.
Zhong right after the wrap comes out, he's going to bees it away and walk right in. It's a huge initiation for Cloud9. MLC's still doing tons of damage, but taking tons of return. Walking Age is going to be good versus Anubis, and Best is now down. A lot of the damage off the board for Cognitive. Cloud9 surging forward. That's 3 members down and 1 more to fall. Meerkat very low, and down he will go indeed. Pern going to do what he can. Baskin with the triple, but Pern, he's going to be knocked off the horse. For now, there's a taunt back in. His beads are used. andinster should be able to run this one down. But it could be a better play for Cloud9 here to go and start taking objectives over trying to rush down the Guan Yu. Doesn't matter.
Or Guan Yu's leading them to the Phoenix they want to kill.
Yeah, maybe Pern should have been better off running away from the Phoenix if they can go now take that is exposed. Tier 2 in the mid and 2 towers on the right side still standing, but the Phoenix looking like it's going to fall just around 30 minutes here. Cloud9 going to pull ahead of Cognitive.
So, big part of that, I think, has to do with the fact that djpernicus didn't use his ultimate until after everyone on his team was dead except for him.
Yeah.
Like, that cavalry charge wasn't doing anything.
I think the big like head scratcher there is that Pern steals off to go try to zone Serqet, and Serqet's just like, okay, ambush, jump over you, now you're way out of position, I'm in the fight.
And everyone on your team is
And then you saw Pern like having to run back into the fight and unable to get into position to use cavalry charge until so late that it was just ineffective. It was way more than ineffective. He tried to use it to save himself and didn't.
Fire Giant's coming up in 10 seconds, by the way. With Pernicus just respawning now, this actually gives Cog enough time to actually get in position because Cloud9 just backed. Aurora has vision control right now.
What do you want to hear?
How much can they do here?
I mean, it's going to be a Fire Giant fight. Who's trying to listen
Meerkat,
to?
does he have teleport? He's got to get over there.
They're going to go for it. Oh, this is an all-in play.
He's got to get over there now.
Let's listen to the cognitive comms to see if they can take this all in.
All percentages. Keep
It's
us
solids and 10k, 9k, 9k.
I'm ulting it.
Okay, just get out afterwards. Just get out afterwards. Just get out.
Run.
Do you have Heavenly? Do you have
Just get
Heavenly?
out. Just get out. Just get out. I already Heavenly over.
Okay.
Just get out. Good job.
Good job.
We'll probably have to give up tier 1s.
Okay.
That's fine.
Yeah,
That's
just
fine. Okay, we can fight, don't we?
Okay, okay, yeah, we can.
No,
We
without, not without ult. Not without ult. Not
They
without
didn't
ult.
They didn't use
How long
anything.
on ult?
I don't have my ult. 40.
Should we give this tier 2 up then?
No,
too?
no, we can. We can defend
No,
it.
they're backing. I'm
they're
just gonna hold left.
Okay.
They're in left jungle.
All right.
Cognitive continues to make the plays they have to make to stay in this game. It's been pretty clowny from their end so far, but the objective-based gameplay here really, putting together this composition that could take down objectives really, really quickly has worked out. So far, so good. 31 minutes into this one, and they're pretty much neck and neck with Cloud9.
This, to me, is something that has been, for some reason, lacking in Season 2 as through the entirety, and that's comps that have a dedicated idea of what they're doing before they go into the game.
Sure.
And when they went into the game, they were thinking, okay, we have the hardest-hitting objective characters in the game plus Hog. Let's steal everything on the map.
Right.
And if you look at Fire Giants and you look at Gold Furies, they have, let's see, 3-1 and 2-0.
Right. Yeah, no, it's working.
The one Fire Giant was...
yeah, a little suspect there from
Little
Meerkat. The
suspect.
Spirit Flail stealing that one away. But hey, take it any way you can get it. They're taking a Gold Fury here as well. Cloud9, they're going to push down the right side of the map, take at least one tower, probably two, before there's a proper response from Cognitive. They maybe can hold them at the tier 2, but they're going to have to book it, or they're going to base race them.
This is looking good. Not only are they on the correct side of the map, also you'll note that they are not paying attention to where the minions are. They should have wanted to take down that wave. They should have went around the more scenic route, but it seems like things are going out. They got stealth to use his
They
beads.
call that one the Bart.
What?
The Blink-In stun ultimate from Anubis.
What is it called?
The Bart.
Oh, the bar? Is that what
the
they
Bart.
call it?
Yeah, that's what they call
They
it.
don't call it the Blink Stun
No,
Ultimate?
it's way shorter. Less syllables. That's what they call it. All the pros call it that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, that's what I hear.
All of production calls it that too,
That's
right?
too, that's right, yeah.
Yeah.
Techies is back there like,
Yeah.
oh, you're the Bart!
Wow. Cognitive again answers back and takes a 300 gold lead. It seems like things are going back and forth. But you'll notice those fire minions seem to be causing a little bit more trouble than I would have expected. They're going to burn their way down the lane. I think at this point they're not trying to use the Fire Giant to siege down the base. They're trying to use it to even the field and get their Phoenix to become, relevant again.
Did you play the game when Fire Giant used to make all of your minions fire minions? When you killed them? Did you ever play that version of Smite?
No. That sounds horrible.
That was hard.
Holy
All of a
crap.
sudden, all your lanes were pushing with double strength minions.
My God. Double.
Yeah, it's double.
Way more than double.
Double damage.
And then double defense and triple this and
Yeah, well, they don't have double defense. They have, like...
mitigation.
Minions don't have really defense. They have damage reduction.
Right.
Which makes some of the intricacies of Smite are so incredibly mathy.
Yeah.
Oh, me, oh, my. Take a look here at these graphs, Brandon. What sticks out to you?
I would say that combined, the two junglers that they have drafted have significantly less damage than just the one jungler on the side of Cloud9.
Yeah, that's right. It's just over like 12,500 damage put out between Nemesis and Guan Yu.
Hey, wait. That's not fair. Let's check healing.
That's 18,600 on Serqet.
Let's see healing. djpernicus has a heal. He did 12k healing. You have to add that in.
Straight up?
Yeah.
It's not like 50% or something?
No, you add the healing on top of the damage.
Okay, so now we're even. He's doing roughly the same. Same
Right.
game impact.
It's close. And then, if you add the support, they're way ahead on damage.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Oh,
Jeff?
Hey, man. Whoa,
Roman
really?
Victor, the backline's going to hit 3. Here comes the ultimate out of the Nemesis. We're going to try to burn down Baskin, but it's not going to be in time. Is there a shield of the Underworld?
Yeah.
Was that return
Yeah.
damage?
Yeah.
Ooh,
Bodied.
boy.
And speaking of bodied, Cabom spreads the poison, maybe not, but not in a great spot here is Cog. No one from Cloud9
This
falls.
is a weird fight. Like, it just stopped there for a minute. Now it's going to start up again. Pernicus going to go forward on the horse. They're still trying to burn down JeffHindla, but the bulwark going to proc. No more damage coming his way. There's a ward sitting there right outside for a teleport back in if they need it. It looks like it was used. Meerkat's going to ultimate 2. MLC Stealth to fall. No healing available.
Got him.
Andinster will take out 1. Meerkat will return to MLC Stealth. And now it's the Osiris head. They're going to go up, but it's not going to be enough. It's a team wipe for Cognitive. That one got ugly real fast. It looked like it was going to go either way. And you would expect a team that had the healer to take the better of that extended engagement, but no, it is Cloud9.
I'm not trying to beat the dead horse here, but if Meerkat had the Mail of Renewal instead of the Forge Hammer, like, that was a 1 fight for them.
Yeah, Mail of Renewals would have made a big difference in that fight. We don't see any, in fact.
Which is crazy to me.
Yeah, the game has, you know, it's, sometimes that happens. Things
Also,
become very, very popular and then fall away for no reason.
Super late Heart of the Urchin here, coming out from Baskin. Still got
just
some decent
value
stacks
urchin.
after that one.
Just value urchin. But, you know, that's maybe something we should have seen a little bit earlier coming out from Cloud9. Shield of the Underworld, exceptionally good against
How much
Anubis.
damage do you think it did to Best?
Oh, 1,000.
Because remember, it deals the damage before mitigations.
Percentage of the damage before mitigations.
And he has Pestilence.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? Plus, he's you can't lifesteal.
No.
That sucks.
Yeah, no, Anubis is done for. Now, I mean, and in fact, MLC's probably like, oh, yeah, damn, I should have had one of those too.
And Cloud9's like, oh, God bless.
Yeah, I honestly would not be super surprised to see Xbalanque just grab one as well. Just cuz.
Yeah, I mean, why not?
I mean, why not? Anytime the Anubis goes on you, you pretty much are shutting out all of his lifesteal.
And that's what Anubis does, right? The whole idea behind the build is he has the Bancroft's Talon, plus he has the Pipe, which gives him, like,
Shield of the Underworld.
ridiculous lifesteal.
I mean, you saw that, like, quarter second the best was hitting him. He took about 1/3 of his HP in return.
BaRRa just walked behind them for free.
Oh, Stealth has excellent positioning here. There's
the poison!
Isolation as well. The poison pops, and now the Zhong ultimate. Can they spread it again? One more kill is going to do it. MLC will fall, but not before he does tons of damage here. Pernicus trying to get out of this fight. Meerkat retreating as well. It's going to come down to the Khepri route here. He may have to dash forward to get into range for it. No, they're not going to go too deep here into this tier 2. It's a 4v4 for now. Mages off the board. No mid laners to be seen. Just Cabom putting out the magic damage here, and ooh, Aurora. That's the problem with supports that are not resilient.
Yeah, he just got kind of taken off the map there for free. I mean, even with these kind of tanky items he's built into, he's in fact almost all defense, he just doesn't have enough. Any hard CC takes his shell off immediately, and with Retribution down...
Look at this. I mean, look at Cloud9's dual lane. They combine 5, 2, and 39.
What?
Cognitive, 5, 13, and 10.
No, you got to count the jungler.
We're adding them all in together?
Yeah, he counts.
I mean, just the whole team, right?
So
I mean, it's
6.
It's like we were like, oh, I think it's an 11-2 Bug for Andinster. It's a 7-2 Bellona, and it's a 4-0-18 Xbalanque. BaRRaCCuDDa having a peach of a game this one.
Also, look at that build. He doesn't go into rage. He goes into chin size.
I had a feeling that it wasn't going to be rage. It was going to be some other kind of shenanigans.
Attack speed.
Well, just proc damage, right? I said oboe. Chin size makes sense as well.
I
Because
like
you have mega crit on Serqet, right? He's gone double.
Yeah.
We were like, oh, maybe he'll go for like a defensive item into, you know, like a brawlers here. Nah.
He went just damage.
Damage.
Also, surprising that he didn't go brawlers when he has the Titans. There's the Mail of Renewal.
Hey! Oh, he just trolled you. Did you see that?
I got bodied. And, okay, Runic Shield.
Okay, the
No,
Runic
you know
Shield.
what?
That
makes
was
more
amazing,
sense.
though.
That
Yeah, the
makes more
anti-tack
sense.
speed is really nice up against the Soul.
Plus, shutting down damage from both Soul and... Remember, she built into Polynomicon. So
And the
this
last item,
directly
Demonic, as well, it
hits
looks like.
an item.
That's going to come out last item, Demonic. Osiris going to wisen up here. It's going to be the height of the Nemean line in addition to the Shield of the Underworld, so he's going to be able to be a little bit more resilient as that front liner. But there's still 39 assists between Khepri and Xbalanque, and the hug bug has been huge this game.
See, at this point, Cloud9 is just so far ahead that they can bully as much as they want, and Soul doesn't really get away with the nonsense that Soul would normally get away with. You know, she throws a 2 out, but if it doesn't hit its target properly and does massive damage across the board, they're just going to walk her down. Anubis can't cover for her. There's no way Nemesis is going to cover.
What's your opinion on Soul now through, what, six games?
Very good.
Still happy with her in professional play?
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, she's definitely still a top 5 pick.
Moderate amount of impact in this game, though.
I think that's just a result of BaRRaCCuDDa, right?
Well, yeah. Well, yeah, but here comes the big fight underneath the tower. Meerkat, very resilient in the front line, but it doesn't matter. Phoenix is going to go down nonetheless, and in comes Cloud9. Zhong ultimate, pulsing out, slowing everyone down, forcing them back to the well, but all 5 will return to the well
Best.
successfully. Walking Aegis from MLC Stealth. We'll get him out of that one for now. Cabom. Oh, that's such a big root from JeffHindla.
Stealth getting a decent slow as well. Meerkat unable to chase down.
Yeah,
He's
look at
feeling that
Gem of
Gem of
Isolation.
Isolation.
Oh, God, that's painful. And MLC,
Okay,
smartly.
he's going to get one. He's not.
Hey, Khepri ultimate.
Oh.
Well, that was baited so hard.
Oh.
And Andy, in the meantime, wraps around. Takes out the mage, no Anubis available. Taunt gonna come out, Aurora, he's gonna start smacking away at Meerkat. Damage coming through, there's the Rising Sun as well. Aurora gonna fall in the clutches of the Hug Bug. Meerkat finds himself into trouble on the front lines, even as this tanky Osiris looking to fall here. He's gonna ult away. Guan, you gonna rotate in as well. It's just 2 bruises and
they don't gotta chase that.
Soul.
Go for the Titan.
I don't think there's anything to do. Titan's gonna fall, and Cloud9 takes game number 2 handily over Cognitive Gaming, even with that start, and even with Cognitive's big lead going into the beginning of that game. I mean, enough.
I don't think I can express how awesome that was to watch. The entire game. That is one of the most fun games I have ever cast. It was back and forth the entire time. The steals were good on both sides. The fights were great. I think in the end, though, there was just a few too many build errors on the side of Cognitive. There was too much lifesteal being built on the Best, and they had so many ways to shut it down.
Shield of the Underworld. Like, the second you saw that Shield of the Underworld, like, proc on Best in the front line,
Best killed himself. He needed to cancel the
that
ult.
was like, it was so hard for him to come back. And, well, that's the problem with Anubis, right? If you don't snowball really hard in the mid game, you have a hard time winning in the late game.
And in a fight, if you don't kill
Serqet.
someone with your ult, it's just like,
and if you don't ban
sorry,
Serqet
guys.
and you draft Anubis, like, she's just going to go to the back line and kill you. And it happens so many times in the fight, you see Best just pop up dead.
Yeah, even
but
last time.
Enough out of you. Enough out of me. Let's toss it over to Kelly and the analyst guys. Take it away. Let us know what you saw.
So I really want to reiterate what Brandon said, and that was just a fun game to watch and enjoy. I mean, I was getting hyped just watching it, and I mean, that I really feel like that just comes from the crazy team combat of Cognitive. Double jungle, 3-minute Gold Fury, there was a hog, we saw Anubis. What was going on?
Yeah, so what they did was they had the Nemesis invade, and then the early Gold Fury securing that with the Anubis ulti and the early Hog was just completely a perfectly executed strategy early on. It just didn't transition well enough for Cog.
But it did transition well. It looked like they almost had the game like consistently. Like it was pretty even all the way until the end of the game.
I think Cloud9 was in full control of that game until the steal from Meerkat,
Yeah,
which
Osiris.
I'm not going to say it was luck, but
it was luck.
There was a little bit of...
that was so well timed. There was a delay on that ability, and he timed it perfectly. Let's go take a look at it right now. Let's see if this was luck, chat. I know I can't see you guys, but I want to see if you guys thought this was skill or luck. Look at that. No.
So this ability does about like maybe 200 to 250 damage
was
on
it
the
Spirit
Fire
Foil?
Giant. So, and it's still like, come on, that's luck.
That's a little
some
bit
skill
of luck.
right there.
It was the TP. It was a nice TP.
No, that
it
TP
really
was
caught,
perfect.
It really
You
caught
guys
Sinon off guard.
are not giving him enough credit. But even after this, and even after Cloud9 got a Fire Giant and everything, it still looked like it was up in the air. I believe that there was a Fire Giant, or not a Fire Giant fight. There was a team fight going on the left side back.
Tier 2 tower, left side.
And it looked like Guan was in there for way too long. It looked like it was just going to be an easy win for Cloud9, and it didn't end up that way. Why was that?
I would say, I remember it specifically, this was the early game, right? So what happened was Cog got that early Gold Fury, got the early lead, then they kind of started losing some team fights. They were behind a little bit because their strategy wasn't working.
Yeah, what I would say is that their warding wasn't really sufficient to actually support their strategy. Like around Gold Fury, whenever the Gold Fury respawned for the second time, they just had zero vision control. They didn't have a single ward around that area of the map, and it's just not good enough to carry out that strategy.
So out of Cog, I mean, Cog did great even though they lost. Do you feel who was the main proprietor of either that crazy comp or how well they did?
I think Meerkat kind of shown up in that game specifically. Last time he was behind 2 to 3 levels, and now he was actually ahead of the Bellona for the most part. So he definitely stepped it up this game, as we see on the screen right now, 6, 2, and 5.
Yeah, this was the fight you were talking about,
Yeah,
Kelly.
exactly, right here. I mean, it just seemed like it was a weird positioning, and they were split up. Anubis popped his ult and barely did any damage, but they still were able to win.
So what I remember from this team fight was the fact that there was an early shell procced. The Anubis stunned the Zhong earlier on around tier 1 mid tower, and Jeff popped his shell, and then he didn't have it for this team fight, which was probably a big factor.
I think the biggest part of this team fight, though, was how well Cognitive managed to kite back and just sort of bait C9 in to actually go into these bad positions. I feel like that was the biggest part of that.
So there was something that I was talking about in the set 1 where we didn't really see too much split pushing and the characters weren't really picked for split pushing. But we saw that with BaRRaCCuDDa. How important is it to split push, or is it more important to be part of these team fights? It didn't really seem like Cloud9 was out of luck when they were going into a 4v5.
Well, Cloud9 played the split push perfectly. Like, what they were doing was they were just playing super passive. They were playing very far back, and they weren't really pushing the issue at all. They were allowing Cog to invade their jungle. DJ tried to steal a speed buff, and they're just like Bear split pushing. Like, we're not gonna fight. We're gonna hug our tier 2. We can win this 4v5 if you decide to dive us under tower. If you don't dive us under tower, you're just wasting time, and XbaLaNque is getting 2 towers, which is what he did. Cloud9, it wasn't that they had a split push comp, it's that they played that moment of the game perfectly.
Who do you feel out of Cloud9 did the best in this game? I know that we saw Baskin get a quadra kill.
Yeah, definitely Baskin. I feel like he dove.
An unofficial
He
quadra
dove the best many times in a lot of team fights, which gave them a huge advantage picking him off earlier on. So the fact that he wasn't able to use his blink, as we see in this team fight here, he used a stun there on the Zhong, and then he was just an easy target immobile. Maybe if he went combat blink instead of regular blink, that would have helped him out a lot, but he didn't choose to go that way.
I think there were some weird item choices.
Yeah, on the side of Cognitive, they did have some weird itemization, especially in djpernicus, in my opinion at least. He just really didn't build any HP, and because of that, he just wasn't able to stick around in these fights long enough to actually really use his heal effectively.
I think he had a Transcendence, but at like 34 minutes, he had 5k damage.
Exactly.
Like, with the Transcendence. Like, what? Just any item with HP, like even Mail of Renewals. I was really. Did we see any Mail of Renewals?
I don't think so. I don't think there's any
really
on either side, actually.
I actually just got word that andinster is the player of the game. Do you guys agree with that, him and on Serqet? I know that there was a lot of Serqet ults in there where he was able to push them back and explode onto other people, but where do you feel like Serqet fell into that team comp?
It was just like the Bellona is just another god to really dive the best and look for anyone out of position.
Is that really what it was? It was just focusing the best, and then once that burst damage was gone, they were able to take it?
I mean, Serqet's kind of weird. Like, she's very strong in the early, not super early, but like early to mid games. When it's smaller fights, late game, it's a little bit harder for her to get in and out, especially against a team comp that has like a Guan Yu that can heal people up. Because Serqet, when she latches onto you with her ult, she's kind of stuck in place. But andinster played it very well and looked for the opportunities where Cog was out of position.
And whoever, whoever he goes on with his ultimate doesn't receive any healing anyways. So that's a huge part as to what Andy's strategy was.
So do you think we're going to see another weird comp, or was this pretty much it, and now they have to go back to the standard meta?
I really think it's hard to say. I mean, if they go to standard meta, I honestly don't think it would work well for them, because for how they play, they don't really group up in a good way, and I think that's where they need to improve if they really want to improve as a team. I
think you mentioned it, like Cog, when they were coming back after the Fire Giant steal, like there's just team fights that they didn't seem to be playing super well. They still have the heals, but they weren't playing Siege style at all.
The thing is, they don't really, at least in these games, they haven't really synergized their ability usage together very well, and because of that, they just haven't. Like, they had that one fight which was shown where they kited back really well, and they did that near enough perfectly in that position, but in all the other fights, they just didn't really do that correctly.
So why do we not see Anubis in play? I mean, we rarely ever see him. I believe the one game that it was played in Season 2,
you can't play him against dive comps. And honestly,
everyone is a dive comp.
Well, Cloud9 had a dive. Like, they had 2 dives.
The biggest thing in this game is because they had the Zhong, but in theory, Anubis seems like it could do well against Zhong, but Zhong can just run him over. Like, he's just going to die.
It was Nemesis as well, right? The Nemesis into Anubis going against the Zhong, but why would you pick 2 odd gods for one mid laner?
I think it was just for picks. Like, they tried to get picks early, and it just didn't work.
I think one big mistake that they did have with their draft is that they just really didn't have any lockdown. Their only real good stun was on the Anubis, and that's just really not enough to force their beads. Like, as soon as they beads that, they're just out.
So, Hog, it's not picked anymore since it got changed about 4 months ago, but it was picked here, and it was appropriate for the playstyle that they were going with. But why would other teams not pick it up, which they never do? Is it just because that one active slot is so important for the mid and late game to not pick up Hog, which you could steal or secure objectives?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you have some mid guys that have a lot of bursts. You know, sometimes you see Isis Poseidons. Right now, there's no Isis or Poseidons. Maybe we'll see it later on in this tournament, hopefully. But yeah, that's mainly the main reason. You want Blink, you want Shell, you want Heavenly Agility, you want a team active. You know, Hog, not necessarily team active. So we're seeing it this game is a little bit refreshing to keep that into players' perspective, knowing that they could always come back to it if they wanted to.
I think at the moment, Hog is very one-sided active. It's really good if you're ahead, but if you get even slightly behind, you're just not going to get any value from it.
Exactly.
But they were ahead at the start of the game. Where do you really feel like it switched for COG? COG was doing so well at the early game, and then Cloud9 just seemed, even if they like got the Fire Giant stolen from them, even if they lost a team fight, they always kind of still seemed ahead.
There was a lot of picks.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that, for me at least, as soon as C9 got to some of their item power spikes, they could just run over them. Due to their comp. I feel like that was the biggest.
There was 2 points that I wanted to mention. There was one around the 9-minute mark where COG tried to force the Gold Fury, where they had no vision, and with only 2 people trying to bait C9 in. Didn't work out for them. They lost I think 1 or 2 people there. And then like 3 minutes later, they forced the Gold Fury. They got the Gold Fury, but then they lost 4 people for it. So that's when things started to go downhill for COG.
I know it depends on the game. It's very circumstantial where they are in the game. But when is it worth to lose, like you die, but you get the Gold Fury, or you get the tower? Is it more important to get these objectives, or is it more important to keep your teammates alive?
It's a really awkward balance, I would say. Like, generally, if you lose 3 and get the Gold Fury, it's considered even, as long as the enemy team who got the 3 kills don't invade or get a tower off of it. I would say that's even. But if it's like 2 kills and they steal some buffs in a tower, or 3 kills, or especially 4 kills, and I believe they also stole the attack speed buff, it's not worth you start losing. You lose out a lot of pressure on individual lanes, as well as the gold just didn't even go to your favor.
Yeah, it's just very dependent on the game and the situation it's in, basically.
So what picks and bans do you guys think we're going to see coming into Game 3? It is now 2-0 in the favor of Cloud9. Like I asked you guys earlier, are you still thinking that we're going to see this weird double jungle, double support pick?
I don't think we'll see that. I think that strategy just Cloud9 has figured it out now. They figured they adapted very quickly to the game. I think we're going to see DJ on a hyper carry, though. I'm really looking at Ratatoskr.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
Ratatoskr, really?
That's just been his go-to when he needs to carry.
What about Ao Kuang?
Ao Kuang as well. Like I think it'll be a hyper carry out of DJ. I think their tank style, Guan Yu, and then Meerkat with another warrior. Just it clearly is not working against them.
Well, I am excited to see what's going to go happen into this 3rd game, guys, and I believe the casters are getting ready right now. But everyone, it's Game 3 of Cloud9 versus Cognitive Gaming. Let's go on to the casters.